Welcome to Brian Redgrave's Payback Review. A pay-per-view that came out literally 1 week exactly after SummerSlam. We pretty much had no builds to anything. The only thing that had any build was stuff that was building from before SummerSlam. It was a really weird pay-per-view. Like I said, the fact that it came 1 week after SummerSlam made it really, really weird. It was really too quickly. And that they should never do this again. Never do this again. Never ever do this again. At least if you need a fast pay-per-view again, make it 2 weeks at least. 2 weeks of build. Not 1 week. Let's get started with the review of Payback. The very first match was in the kickoff, which was Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott versus the Iconics. And it was actually a pretty decent match considering it's a kickoff match. I never expect much out of these. I really don't. But overall, it was a decent match that, had some good moments back and forth here and there. It told a story, and the Iconics took out Ruby Riott for a long time. Liv was outside. They played out Liv maybe walking out on Ruby. But overall, they got the win. It was what they needed. They've been losing over and over and over and over and over and over again. They needed the damn win here. It was about time. And hopefully, let's see what's next. I don't want to see no more Iconic stuff with them. Let's just move on. Who knows? Maybe they can move into the women's tag title picture. That would be nice. Granted, with some of the stuff that happens tonight, maybe that wouldn't be the best move yet. But it's going to get an up. Because the match was decent, especially for a kickoff match. It wasn't bad. It told the story. They finally got that Liv Ruby moment that they've officially are back together. They've been together, but on this losing streak, they finally got the W since joining together. And let's see what's next for them. I don't want to see no more stuff with the Iconics, but knowing WWE, we'll probably get more stuff with the Iconics. But we'll see what's next in the future for them. But for now, this gets an up from me. Then it was the first official match of the pay-per-view, Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley. I'm sorry, I should have said Apollo versus Bobby Lashley. And this match was actually pretty good, and it was better than I thought it would be. It was back and forth. Surprisingly, Apollo got quite a few hits on Bobby. At times was dominating Bobby, which is a little shocking because, Bobby's tended to get treated like a monster. But it was fine. The match was good. Quite a few tributes to the actor who played Black Panther, who recently passed away. May he rest in peace. Quite a few tributes to him with the post. And overall, the match was good. Bobby is your new United States champion after making Apollo tap with the full Nelson. To me, that was the right move. It was the right call. This was a much better match than the Apollo versus MVP. But it's what you get when you get Bobby Lashley, who's a better wrestler than MVP. Bobby having gold around his waist is a good move. I'm happy with this result. Now, what happens with Apollo? Hopefully, he doesn't go back to jobber status. Just because he lost the title, hopefully they find something for him to do. Who knows? Maybe the cruiserweight, he can go, I don't know. We'll see what he does. But for now, I'm happy Bobby got the gold. The Hurt Business needed something. Because they're treated like, this main team that can't be stopped. But they get played and they're losing sometimes. That whole thing on Monday where Apollo got the best out of all of them was absolutely ridiculous. So Bobby getting the victory here gives some legitimacy to this team, which is the right call. Now, who knows? Maybe MVP and Shelton will go for the tag titles. That would be nice if all of them had gold around their waist. Please, no more 24/7 titles for Shelton. Please, no more. But what's here was good. Again, now, after the match, Apollo did attack Bobby Lashley. So that, I don't know why. Because at the end of the day, Apollo lost fair and square. There was no cheating. And yeah, it gets an up. It gets an up for sure. But it's clearly this is not done. Now, whether Apollo gets the title back or not, who knows? I hope not. But if he does, then what? It's Shelton's turn to become United States title champion. So we'll see. But this match definitely gets an up for me. It was better than I expected. Good job, Bobby Lashley. You are the new United States champion. A random ass match that made me feel like I was just watching a plain old SmackDown was Big E versus Sheamus. This was a sleeper, boring match that really, I was bored of it, and that's never a good thing. Big E, I know there's been reports of him getting a single stars push, which he should. He's a talented guy. He really is. He deserves it. But based on this match, you wouldn't really even push him that far. Sheamus, poor guy, lost to Big E after losing to also Jeff Hardy not that long ago, which makes me feel like, what's up with Sheamus? Is he just back to job to people now? Like, he lost to Jeff Hardy, he lost to Big E. What is next for Sheamus? Who knows? But this match was not very entertaining. It was just a normal plain match you will see in SmackDown. There was really, literally, pretty much no build to this either. It's just something based on something that happened last week. Again, that's what happens when you have one pay-per-view after the other, a week away. It gets a down for sure, without a doubt, a down. Don't even bother watching this match. This is something you watch in SmackDown. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a rematch of this in SmackDown, because that's just what you should get and what you should expect in a SmackDown. Not a pay-per-view, but this was just match that was clearly just thrown in here to have another match and not end the pay-per-view too early. So, down. Let's just move on from this, alright? Down. Matt Ryder versus King Corbin was another match that, when it started off for the first half, it was not very good. A little slow pace. I was not caring for it. About halfway through the match, it started to pick up. Riddle started to pick up, attacking Corbin. But here's the thing. This feud has been boring. This feud has been non-entertaining. At least to me, has not been entertaining at all. And Matt Riddle got the win. Okay, good move. That's the right move for sure. Half the match was half the match was decent, but the feud has been lame. And I was just hoping this was over. But then after the match, backstage, King Corbin attacked Matt Riddle, which means this feud is going to continue. Instead of Matt Riddle actually doing something of importance, it hasn't felt like he's done anything important since beating AJ Styles. It almost feels like this feud with Corbin really needs to end. Because of this, I'm gonna give it a down. If you disagree, that's fine. I'm not saying what I say is the final, verdict. But to me, it gets a down for the reasons I already mentioned. This is clearly not over, so we'll see what happens. Maybe the feud picks up and gets better, though I highly doubt it. Chad Gable wasn't even around here. That was shocking, but whatever. It gets a down from Brian Redgrave. Let's move on. Okay, wow. I'm just going to say wow, because I came into this match very negative about Shayna team with Nia Jax. I did not like the random-ass team. I thought Shayna was going to go after Asuka's Raw title. So I was not a fan of this whole setup, but I gotta say, this match was really good. All four women did a great job. Shayna's best performance probably in the main roster since she was given time to do something. She got the win with a double submission. A submission on both Bayley and Sasha. She was booked like a monster in here, especially with that ending. Having them both, I believe both of them tapped out. I don't think it was just Bayley. I believe both of them tapped out. I loved it. I love Shayna Baszler. And I was sad to see how she was being booked lately. But to see this finish really got me happy. The match was really good. It was back and forth between both teams. Now, I expected both women to lose the tag titles. I expected them. So, we do have new tag team champions. I'm happy that Shayna got gold around her waist. Nia, I guess she's along for the ride, I guess. So I'm happy that Shayna has gold around her waist. I did expect them to win the titles because, honestly, it's the whole Sasha thing and Bayley. We're one step closer to that match. Hallelujah. It's only taken 3 years, right? So we got a good match between all four competitors. We got new champions in Payback. This also gets us one step closer to Bayley versus Sasha, which maybe will happen in Clash of Champions. That's like 20 days away. So maybe it'll happen there. It would be the perfect time. Even in SmackDown, Bayley was still, she was burning Sasha a little bit. So we're definitely closer to that match. So this match for sure gets a nub because, like I said, it was a good match. Good tag team women's match. All four competitors actually did a good part. Even Nia Jax pulled her weight. She's not the best wrestler, but she did pull her weight. It was a good match. I was a big fan of this match. Up to this point, it was probably my match of the night if I would have to pick one. And yeah, so it gets a major up. I almost gave it the heavy metal horns, but I won't, because let's see what happens in the future. Then we got Keith Lee versus Randy Orton, which we actually got in Raw, which I think we should have never gotten in Raw. I think this should have been the very first match between both of them. It would have had a little bit more, even more of an impact, I feel like. But the match was a little short, but that was actually a good thing. It was a really good match between both opponents, back and forth. Show Keith Lee's dominance. Keith Lee won. I am so happy. He won with a massive powerbomb. He reversed the RKO into that. It was an amazing moment. It's probably his biggest win. And hopefully he carries his momentum forward. Who knows where he's going to go? Maybe he'll go into world title picture right away. Maybe he'll go into, I want to say the United States title. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it was a good match. It really was. Randy put him over. Now one has to wonder where Randy goes. He has lost 2 major matches, Drew and Keith. Who knows? It gets an up. That's what I'm worried about. It gets an up because the match was good. Short but good. Keith won the right move. I was worried Keith was going to come in and get an L. Get an L right off the bat against Randy, because Randy's been booked nearly unstoppable these last couple months. Nearly. Which is why I was shocked he lost here, but happy he lost here. So good job, Keith. Man, that guy has a great future ahead of him. It gets an up from Brian Redgrave. Another hell of a tag team match. This was really good. Another match that happened on Raw that shouldn't have. Should have been saved for Payback. But whatever. The match was great. It was excellent. All 4 competitors pulled their weight again, like the other match. Literally, Seth Rollins was amazing. Murphy's amazing. Rey Mysterio's amazing. And Dominic's actually not bad. He is pretty good. And you know what? They actually got the win here. The right move. You know, the pay-per-view's called Payback. And they needed some payback. If they would have lost, the pay-per-view name would have meant absolutely nothing here. They won. Good match. Great match. Probably my favorite match of the night, I would say. Which is also crazy because I said SummerSlam. It was Dominic versus Seth. So, yeah. Now, this would have been a perfect moment to end the feud with them on top. But Rey and Seth are going to wrestle in Raw. So, let's see what else they get after this feud. That match is going to get an up. The match was great. Fast-paced between both teams. Murphy accidentally hit Rollins, and then that's how they won. The look Seth gave Murphy, I'm hoping that they don't break up. I worry that if they break up, Murphy will get lost in the shuffle. But if you guys have plans for him as a single star, then okay, go for it. But if you don't, please don't break them up. Please don't. But for now, that's what we're about later. It gets an up. You mother... I cannot believe this actually happened. What I mentioned in my SummerSlam review came to happen. The Fiend won the Universal title at SummerSlam just to lose it a week later. Through the power of Vince magic, Roman Reigns is your new Universal Champion. It's not what happened. It's how it happened. Number one, The Fiend should have never won the title to lose it a week later. The Fiend should not be treated as a transitional champion. Not now, not never. What are you doing, old man? What are you doing? Oh my God. Roman Reigns is a United States champion. I wish it was just that Universal title. He has a title. It's how it happened that bothered me. This was not a triple threat match at all. This is a 1v1 Fiend versus Braun. You know, the match we've seen 3 times. Bray versus Braun. We just watched it a 4th time. Oh my goodness. And then the match wasn't even really that great to begin with. They have big moves, you could say. They broke a table, they broke the ring and whatnot, but in the match itself, it was bothering me because the ending was predictable. The moment it was just a 1v1, it was predictable. Roman would show up at the end of the damn match to win it, and that's exactly what happened. He came in, and he won. Vince gave us the middle finger, big time here. Roman showed up, tried to go for the pin, failed, hit Braun with a chair, then Bray went for the mandible claw, actually locked it in on those fucking white new teeth. Roman went for the low blow because even the Fiend has damn balls. You know, we know his new weakness, his balls. Why didn't Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, and The Miz all think of that? This gets a middle finger from me. Vince gave us a middle finger, and then I give him the middle finger right back. This was complete bull. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. The Fiend has lost the title, and I have to wonder, why was Retribution not here for the second time in a row? Second pay-per-view in a row. Why was Alexa Bliss not here helping Bray? That's clearly what you're building up to. She was even watching from backstage. Middle finger. Like, this should have never, ever fucking happened. Like, are you kidding me? The guy is out for 4 months, comes back in, takes the title from the Fiend 1 week later, but we're rewarding him for being away when these two other guys were carrying the fucking company while he was gone? Like, are you serious? This is why people hate and bash this company. This is why wrestlers want to go to AEW. Oh my god, like, this is the type of stuff that makes me not even want to watch this shit anymore. I'm not okay. I don't have a problem if Roman would have won it another way, but not now. It was too soon. It was too soon. If he's going to win the title, he should have won it later. Not 1 week after the Fiend had just won the title. Not 1 week later. You know, the Fiend could have retained by pinning Braun. You protect Roman. And then a Clash or even the following pay-per-view, then you could have done Roman winning. You know, you could build to it. Roman should have never even been in this damn feud. Not yet, anyway. If anything, Roman should have gone, I don't know, Goldberg's in contract for 2 more matches, supposedly. He could have gone after Goldberg, beat Goldberg, then go beat Braun, and then go to beat Bray. You know, earn your way there. Oh, but I get it. He's with Paul Heyman now. Brian, he's with Paul Heyman. He's a heel. This is what we've always wanted. Yes, I've always wanted Roman to be healed, yes. But to win the title this way, it's the same way when Brock Lesnar won the Money in the Bank at the last second from Ali. That was terrible. This is terrible. This is not the right way to go about it. I'm telling you, the Fiend should have won by pinning Braun if you want to protect Roman. This is complete and utter BS. Let me remind you, I gave it the middle finger. That is my opinion. If you think Roman winning was the greatest thing in the world, you know what? I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. I'm not here to, you know, bash anybody's opinion. I'm here giving my opinion. I was not a fan of it. It completely left a bad taste in my mouth as a fan of The Fiend. And even Braun, because I like Braun. Not the best, you know, lately, but I like Braun. And Roman heel turn was the perfect thing, but it was just the wrong time to win the title. It was too soon after his comeback to win the title. That's why I gave it the middle finger. That's why I give it the middle finger. That's all I can say. Let's see what happens this Friday. Let's see. But we'll see. But I have a feeling the Fiend won't be having the title anytime soon again. So that was Payback. We had a garbage ass main event. We had great moments like Keith winning the women's tag team title match of the women, and the men's 2-on-2 of Seth and versus Ray. That all was all great. Bobby winning was great, but also we had a random ass match in Sheamus versus Big E. Matt Riddle versus King Corbin really was a big letdown if you ask me. I was not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of that rivalry overall. So overall, you take the mixed bag of the pay-per-view. Also, the no build 1 week after SummerSlam. There was no build to anything here. Everything was just based on just stuff from Raw and SmackDown. And when you also consider that Keith Lee versus Randy happened in Raw, so that the Ray and Seth match, the tag team match like that, 2v2, also happened on Raw. They were repeats, not first timers. I have to give it a down. I have to give this pay-per-view a down. And I never, ever want to see another pay-per-view air 1 week after another pay-per-view. That's this pay-per-view's biggest problem. The lack of build literally ruined a lot of things. Who knows, maybe had The Fiend lost the title at the next pay-per-view and the pay-per-view would have been a month away and he would have been champ for a month, maybe that would have been a little better. But 1 week later, no. It gets it down. The pay-per-view gets it down. If you like the video, please like the video, share, and subscribe. Comment your opinion. Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? If you disagree, why did you disagree? Please let me know. I like to hear all opinions. Trust me, I give mine, but I like to hear yours as well. Please, let me know what you thought of Payback. This has been Brian Redgrave with my review of WWE Payback 2020. Redgrave out.